Good evening and welcome to Rock River Community Radio, your home for EP Panther sports. Tonight we're coming to you live from Orion, Illinois, where your Panthers have traveled to take on the Orion Chargers. Your Panthers coming in with a record of 4-2. They're taking on the Chargers tonight with a record of 2-4. Chilly night here, a little change in weather from what we've seen the first 6 weeks of football so far. We're just minutes away from kickoff, about 8.5 minutes or so on the clock. And they're doing the coin toss right now. We got the national anthem still yet to go off. We thought we'd come on and just kind of prep the game a little bit. I am Scott Miner alongside my co-host, as always, Scott Hammer. Scott, good to have you on the broadcast again tonight.
Yep, right here. We'll try and get you the best picture we can. We aren't as high as we normally are, but it looks like we got a good viewing spot.
So, and also, Dan Eyrick is traveling back from Texas. He was hoping to be here for the game tonight to do the camera, but unable to do that. So Scott is double dutying tonight. He's going to be commentating the color guy side of things, and he's going to be doing the filming. So if things stumble just a little bit, don't blame him. He's got some stuff going on. So your Panthers fresh off of a big win last week, and just a absolute juggernaut of an offensive night for both sides of the football. They took on the Rams on homecoming and came away with a 42-36 win, over 800 yards of total offense, and the Panthers were able to muster 452 of them, and able to come out on top. Last-minute play into the end zone for the Rams fell incomplete, and Panthers fans able to storm the field and have just a nice celebration going into the homecoming dance.
Yeah, it was a nervous game. We felt didn't know how it was going to go because Riverdale had a really good record coming in, and they'd played us really well last year. And, they didn't come out with their power offense to start with, which kind of we bought an extra possession because of that. And then once they switched to that, we just had a heck of a time stopping them, and it was who had the ball last is how it seemed.
All right, we're going to go silent for just a minute. They're getting ready to start the national anthem. And that was the Orion High School Band doing the national anthem tonight. All right, so we were talking about last week's game, and Panthers had just a heck of a time on the offensive side of the football. Had 452 yards of total offense, like we talked about. Keegan Winkler had an outstanding game as a quarterback. Ended up with 5 TDs total, 3 rushing, 2 through the air. Had 142 yards rushing, 10 of 13 through the air for 205 yards passing. Tristan Hovey also had a big game, 23 rushes for 90 yards, and just an outstanding game. Really, we only had 2 punts, 1 punt or 2 punts all night long. One towards the end of that game, Keegan Winkler able to punt him and put him inside the 2-yard line right there for that last drive was really big.
Yeah, both offenses were hitting on both cylinders. Tristan Hovey really got us going with the running game last week, and I think we're probably going to see a lot of that this week too. We want to try and establish that run. But then when we needed to, Keegan Winkler just had an outstanding game and threw the ball extremely well. We hit on just all cylinders, but the only miscue we had was that 1 2-point conversion late in the game when hit Gavin Adams right in the back of the end zone is like the only ball he's dropped this year. But, you know, we've scored 40 points the last 2 weeks. Orion's got a 2-4 record, but they've had a juggernaut of a season. They played with Rock Ridge, Newman, Monmouth, Roseville, and, you know, they've given up over 40 points in all of their losses and 50 last week. So hopefully we can keep the offensive momentum going and jump out early on them.
Yeah, Scott was alluding to Orion's schedule, and it has been brutal. Monmouth, Roseville, Newman, Riverdale, and Rock Ridge all on their schedule already, all with winning schedules. And Orion comes in losers of 3 straight. The last 3 weeks they have played Newman, Riverdale, and Rock Ridge. Last week they were pounded by Rock Ridge 50-7. And so tonight they come in at 2-4. They need to win out if they're going to have a chance to make the playoffs. And so this is really a playoff game for them. And this is not a game the Panthers can take lightly.
No, that's for sure. And you know, when the season started, we were 5-4 last year, but we had to win, you know, late in the season to get that 5th win and be playoff eligible. And that's kind of what we were looking at this year. But honestly, if I'm buying stock right now, I'm thinking we're more like a 6-3, possibly a 7-2 team over a 5-4. So, I mean, our needle is pointing, you know, up. We're playing really well. So I really just really happy with the way this season is going and the amount of offense we had the last 2 weeks. If we can keep that going, you know, we really have an opportunity to run the table, be a 7-2 team, maybe get a home playoff game that first week. But, you know, they're still young kids. It's 2A high school football, so anything can happen. And but, you know, we're playing real well right now. But like you said, every game's a playoff game for Orion.
Yeah, and Orion has Sherrard and Kewanee both winless in weeks 8 and 9. So, you know, I'm sure they've been prepping their players. The coaching staff's been prepping their players all week long to say, hey, if we can get an EP win or a win over EP this week, there's a really good chance we end at 5-4 and still make the playoffs, considering where we're at right now. So, again, there's zero question that Orion is going to come out fully charged and ready to go for tonight. The Panthers' remaining schedule in weeks 8 and 9, we've got Mendota, who is 2-4. That game is in Erie next week, and then we travel to Princeton on week 9, and I'll just set the stage for you a little bit. Week 9, it sounds to me like Princeton's game will be fresh off in varsity together on that Friday night, and if that's the case, we'll make every effort to bring you both contests on YouTube that night. I guess I should have asked Scott ahead of time, but
I did not know that.
Yeah, and they did that last year, and I think the intent for doing that again this year.
So they don't have to do that the week after.
They don't have to do it in the playoff practice week. And so that sounds like that's kind of how things are leaning. I don't know if that's been officially put out yet or not, but we'll keep you posted on that. While we're waiting just for this last minute and a half to tick off the clock before we get started, the Panther sophomore football team got another win under their belts on Monday night, a very sloppy win according to Coach Foster, but they've moved to 6-0. That win was over Riverdale, despite running just 4 offensive plays in the first 17 minutes of that game and having a sloppy and lackluster effort, according to Coach Foster. The defense stepped up and provided what they needed to get the W. Caleb Brown had another big game, 2 first-half INTs, and the second led to a Pearson touchdown. That was followed by a little trick play right before halftime, a little halfback pass from Walker Wright. They got him deep into Rams territory that set up that Pearson touchdown. So congratulations to the Panthers sophomore team, 6-0. Continue to make that run, fellas, and just finish out that season strong. They're going to host Orion Monday night in Erie at 5:30. I got one other thing that we're going to talk about for football. A cool thing that I saw this week, former Panther Jace Grunder had himself a week. He is a junior at Central College. He graduated from EP a few years ago. He's a junior at Central College in Pella. He was named to the D3Football.com Team of the Week. Jace rushed for 241 yards, averaged 8.6 yards per carry, and had 3 touchdowns for the Dutch this last week. So congratulations to Jace.
He's still got those big thighs. He's got some of the biggest legs you ever seen on a high school running back.
All right. Orion won the toss, and they're going to take the football first. Not surprising. They're an offensive juggernaut of a team, and they're going to want to establish what they can offensively to start with. And as you can see by the game film, EP will be going from left to right on your screen. Nice night for football. we are actually calling this game from outside of the press box. That's a first for us this year. Press box in Orion, pretty small, and actually very small. Not able to get set up in there, so the Orion administration got us set up with a table in the home stands, and that's where we are tonight. So if you hear a little sniffling or coughing, give us a little grace on that.
And maybe someone across the way will bring us some hot chocolate at halftime.
All right, it looks like Evan Steinley will be doing the kicking tonight. And we are just seconds away from week 7 IHSA football. There's a kick. It's going to be a little short one. It's going to drop at about the 30-yard line, and it's going to go out of bounds. And we'll have to see if the Chargers want to take that penalty and get started.
It looks like they're not going to re-kick. They got the whole team over here huddled up, getting ready to run this first play.
Interesting. All right, Chargers are primarily a passing football team. They've got a 4-year starter at quarterback. Coach's son, Cale Filler. They'll run out of the shotgun a lot. They got trips to the left, 2 receivers to the right. And our secondary will be tested tonight. Short little throw here to the right side, and it's complete. And going to get run out of bounds after a nice gain on first down for the Chargers.
Yeah, that's that quick pass you had. It's similar to what Riverdale did last week, where they had trips on one side, but they kept throwing it to the solo receiver on the other side, which also was the short side of the field.
That second down run is going to result, looks like, in a first down. And the Chargers will pick up their first down of the day, move it out to the 46-yard line, and quickly the Charger offense is set again. Going to roll out here to the left, good pressure. Going to throw left, got a man open, and Keegan Winkler on the coverage, but able to complete the pass. Another first down completion for the Chargers.
Yeah, they've got a pretty no-huddle offense. They get to the line of scrimmage really quick. They had 3 receivers on that side. They're not giving the defense much time to react.
3 receivers far right for the Chargers. Going to look. Quick throw to the left here, or to the right, and that's another reception, and that'll be another first down for the Chargers. 4 plays, 2 first downs.
Yeah, even though it was second and really short, they decided to throw the ball right there. That's the confidence they have in that part of their game. They're right back to the line of scrimmage, ready to run the next play.
And they're going to hand the ball off, and read really nicely by
I think that was Max Milam.
Max Milam, yeah, number 4.
Great job from his linebacker position coming in.
That's a loss of 3 on that play. Not sure what Max saw there, but whatever he did, he read it really quickly and right through the line and able to bring the back down. Second and long, going to roll right, looking to throw right. Got a man open. Oh, and it goes through the hands. Nice defense there by, looked like Evan Steinley.
Yeah, that was in the tight coverage. We had a couple defenders right there, and it's probably the coldest that they've played. Don't know if they all got gloves on or not, but it bounced off his hands. Going to 3rd and long.
And a little slower pace with this play. Getting a call in from the head coach. 3rd and 13. 10:50 to go. Game just underway. Going to roll out right. Looking to throw. Quarterback's going to keep it himself. And met pretty quickly. Going to get maybe back to the original line of scrimmage is all.
Yeah, the receivers were well covered downfield. They weren't really, they had like 14 yards to go, so that, it wasn't going to be able to a quick route. And he decided to pull it down, and he was tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Bringing up to this 4th down. Wholesale change there, so it looks like they're probably going to be in punting formation.
Ball inside the Panther territory down at the 44-yard line. Chargers are back to punt. Connor Keegan set to receive ball, the kick down around the 11-yard line. There's a snap. Little wobbly one, but able to handle it. And that ball is not going to be fielded, and it looks like it's going to be down around the 10-yard line, and the Panther offense will take over.
Yeah, Connor was kind of hoping for that Sunday hop. He got one of those last week, and We got one of those on the kickoff last week too, but he decided to just let it go, and we'll start with our first set of downs here.
Panthers coming in with all kinds of momentum and confidence right now with their offensive unit. We'll see if that rolls over into this week. Key to success with Coach Whitebread is just to continue that momentum and establish that run early tonight against this Orion defense. Keegan then going to pitch it out there to Tristan on the left side. Able to get the corner, and we got a flag right away, and the area of likely to be holding.
Yeah, that's 90% of the time that's what you're going to get. Actually, the ref doesn't even waste his time making that call.
That'll back the Panthers up 10.
Fortunately, he called it so soon that even though it's a spot foul, it can't be much more than 10 yards.
That'll back the Panthers up half the distance to the goal. Back inside the 5. Max and Connor out here to the right. Keegan in shotgun. Tristan in the backfield. Keegan's going to keep it himself. He's got a nice opening, and he's up near the first down. I think he'll have – no, I take that back. He's up past the original line of scrimmage. My bad.
Yeah, he got a nice gain. They had Evan Steinley lead blocking for him. About a 12-yard run for Keegan. Going to bring up a more manageable 2nd and 4. Nice hole on the right-hand side.
Yep, good lead blocking and extended into the linebacker core with a couple of those blocks. So they'll bring up 2nd and 4. 9:28 to go here in the first quarter. Wide side of the field to the left. Graydon Church out there far left. Connor down here to the right. Keegan's going to keep it himself, and that one gets read pretty well. Little gain.
Yeah, not for sure if that was a busted play or not, or if he was just doing a little fake to the handoff to Tristan, but he didn't get much momentum on that run at all. 3rd and long 3.
What little wind we have tonight will be blowing across the field from the camera back across towards the Panther sideline, so it shouldn't affect any throwing that's going to go on for either team tonight. All right, 3rd and short for the Panthers. Graydon going to go out left. Gavin, Evan, Max out here to the right, and trips in slot. They're going to pitch it. Oh, and that got read really well and blown up by the Chargers.
Yeah, we haven't really seen a loss on a run like that all year. They knew exactly where we were going on that one. Going to bring up a big 4th down punting situation. Hopefully Keegan can get a leg into this.
Look like that's about a loss of 5 on that play. Chargers all over that defensively.
It will be 4th and 7.
Have to put that in the memory bank, set that up, and run a misdirection next time. Keegan back to punt. It's a low snap, but it's handled. And a good kick. And a fair catch called for just inside Panther territory at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, nice kick by Keegan. It was a little wobbly snap, but clock is just under 8 minutes to go. 2nd chance for Orion. We know they're going to come out looking to throw again, so let's see how we can defend it this time. I'm sorry the camera angle is just a little bit lower than it has been in the past, but we'll give you the best picture we can.
1st and 10 Chargers. 3 receivers out right. Going to throw it to the right. Got a man open and busted into the inside and able to get some yards after the catch, and that'll result in a 1st down again at 11.
Yeah, it looked like that pass went right through the hands of Caleb Reamer or whoever was on that side. I think it was Caleb. And then able to get through them and get a completion for 1st down, and they are right back ready to go again.
Quarterback's going to keep it himself. He's going to go off the right side and read pretty well. Caleb Reamer, Max Milam. Caleb just able to redirect him a little bit, and Max able to finish him off.
Yeah, kind of faked the handoff to the left. I think the safeties are going to be reading pass. Well, they will anyway, but, this is going to be a 90% pass offense.
2nd and 10, 7:13 to go in the 1st. Going to get flushed out of the pocket, and he's got a little bit of running room, and he's up past the first down, and Connor Keegan able to make a shoestring tackle there. Another first down for the Chargers.
Yeah, that's one of the tough things when they send so many guys out in a route is, you know, the defense is pedaling back, and then if the quarterback doesn't see anything, a lot of times he has a lot of lanes to find, and he really did on that one. Scampered for a big gain.
Ball down at the 24-yard line of the Panthers. 1st and 10. Up under center. Going to pitch it and try to go out to this left side. And there's going to be a hold called. Evan Steinley was definitely held. Keegan's going to bring him down, but this play's going to come back.
Yeah, they were double tight formation. We hadn't seen that yet. And, you know, one thing I noticed that, and you talk about the air temperature, it's you could see how far Keegan slid when he went out of bounds. Footing will be different tonight than we've faced all year.
Good call. Can't even get the painter's tape to stick to the table tonight for our paperwork. All right, so that's a good break for the Panthers. That'll back the Charger offense up 10 yards. 1st and 20. Ball back at the 33-yard line. Up under center again. High formation. They're going to hand it off right up the middle, and he'll pick up just a couple.
Well, after I said we weren't going to be seeing much running, here they are on a 1st and 25, and they under center and I formation. Formation we weren't expecting to see any, and after that run, I doubt we'll see too much more of it. But
yeah, I think this is just to keep us honest.
Honesty is the best policy.
All right, shotgun formation, empty backfield. Looking left, a little bit of pressure there from Derek Nosker, and throws it out in here to the flat. And Max is down. It looks like he's hurt. He fell awkwardly. And we got another Panther down as well.
Yeah, I did not see them go down. It was past there, and then they were trying to rally to the
That looks like
ball.
Connor Keegan also down on that play.
Just under 6 minutes to go in this half.
Max is writhing in pain. It looks like that's his leg. And I haven't seen any movement out of Connor yet. And Connor's back up on his knees, just shaking up, it looks like. They're working on Connor's shoulder.
It's been an issue for him this year. It's been something he's had to battle through ever since week 2.
Coming into the night, the Panthers have been fairly healthy. We've had a couple of concussions that we've worked through. We do have one injury report coming into the night, and that's Sawyer Schwartz is out for the season. Connor gets up and able to get off on his own, and same with Max. We'll have to keep an eye on both of them. Max looks like he's walking under his own power right now. So the Panthers will be in a next man up mentality right now with a couple of defensive key players for us go down on that play. 3rd and 3, ball on the 16-yard line. 5:50 to go. Back to throw the football. Good pressure by Caleb Reamer, going to just throw that one away. And that falls incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, he dropped back, and then we got the nice pressure there and made him scramble even more. Good enough coverage there that he wasn't able to find anybody and just throw that away on the right side. 4th and 4, it's one of these hold your water and don't jump off sides and give them a free set of down situations.
Multitude of replacements coming in for the Chargers. We'll have to see what they want to do here. Look like they're going to go into a power I formation. And Panthers holding their ground, not jumping yet. They're going to hand it off. They're going to go off the left side. And looks like he's going to have enough for the first down. Picks up about 5 on that play.
Yeah, kind of interesting formation. Kind of remind me of the Cowboys of the 80s there when the linemen would get up and get back down and set. They kind of did a similar thing with their arms there. I don't know if they're trying to get us to jump offside or what.
Synchronization there.
Yeah. 5.5 minutes left in this first quarter.
3 receivers left and spread for the Chargers. Going to roll left, looking to throw left. Got a man out here in the flat, and he loses his footing after he catches it. Ball's going to be spotted up right at the 10-yard line.
Good coverage by Tristan Hovey out there. Looks like just a gain of about 2. About be under 5 minutes to go in the quarter when they get this play. Right on the short side of the field with the father and son coach and quarterback situation. So they certainly have a lot of substitutions. A lot of different personnel packages.
It's kind of a flat start to the game. Not a lot of pep in step yet. All right, a little counter action, and looks like he's going to get stopped short of the end zone. I thought the Chargers were going to push one in there, but good stop in the secondary. I didn't get a number on that.
Yeah, he ran off right tackle there and had a good hole. Can't not be very far to go. Looks like the official's about the 1-yard line.
Up under center. They're going to quarterback push this thing, try to get it into the end zone. No signal yet. It looks like the Panthers may have stopped them.
That was a very delayed whistle as well. The Eagles last night did 4 tush pushes in a row. Orion certainly could be in a situation to do that. The ball is very close to the goal line.
That was a 3rd and 1. It looks like.
Well,
yeah, they just switched it to a first down, but the scoreboard shows 3rd and 1, so I'm not really sure. Now they've dropped the sticks and called it first down. So 1st and goal. Up under center again. They're going to do the same thing. Still no indication yet, and now we have a touchdown for the Chargers. Chargers strike first tonight with 3:54 in the first.
Yeah, they got up with double tight and a fullback or a wing wishbone formation, and the running backs just kind of got up behind Fuller, a quarterback, and pushed him in. Going to need to score some more points now. Get the offense moving.
Touchdown by number 2, Caleb Phillips.
Little lackluster start here for your Panthers.
Yeah, it doesn't quite have the energy that homecoming did last week.
Attempt to the extra point. Snaps down, kicks up. Good kick for the Chargers.
I do like that they have these big college-style and NFL-style goalposts. You can tell if the ball goes through or not. Nice kick by the Orion kicker.
7-0. Panthers trailing here in the first quarter. As the Panthers are going to get set to take on their second possession, we'll tell you that we had a couple of records fall this last week. Keegan Winkler became the all-time EP leading passer, eclipsing Greg Matthews. He has a total of 1,668 yards and counting. He's got 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks left, however long we go into the playoffs. So congratulations to Keegan. And also Gavin Adams eclipsed the single-season record for receiving yards with 422 yards. The previous record was held by Josh Bush back in 2002. So congratulations to both those fellas.
Those are some old records that got knocked off there.
We went through a pretty long period of time where we did a lot of running. Chargers have ran 18 plays from scrimmage, and the Panthers will run their 4th play when we get this next play from scrimmage off. Gavin Adams is going to take this one and get swallowed up. He's going to get past the 30-yard line, and your Panthers will have decent field position to start.
Yeah, that one bounced about 3 times before Gavin was able to pick it up. He didn't quite run underneath that one as much, so I like to catch those on one hop with a lot of momentum going, and this wasn't the case. Still not a horrible field position. Looks like it's right at about across the 30-yard line.
.348 to go in first. Down 7-0. They're going to run Evan clear out here to the right. Shotgun formation. Max back into the ball game. That's good to see. He's in motion. They're going to pitch it out to Tristan. Tristan's going to cut it upfield. Nice job avoiding a couple of tackles. He's got a nice run on first down. He'll be up near the first down marker.
Yeah, not only was it nice to see Max out there, but he was out there making a nice lead block. Nice run by Tristan. We were expecting to see a heavy dose of Tristan, and we just didn't get anything going on that last possession. The holding penalty really kind of set us back. But we moved the chains on the first play of the second drive.
So the fourth play for your EP Panther offense tonight results in a first down, the first down, and moves the ball out to the 44-yard line. Short side of the field to the right. Gavin Adams and Connor Johnson out here to the right. Put Evan in motion left to right. They're going to run Keegan right up the middle. He's got a short gain on first down. It looks like he'll pick up 3.
Yeah, he not a whole lot there, but, as we've mentioned each week, Keegan does a great job of staying low. And if he knows he's going down, he just dives forward as much as he can, and he'll turn a 2-yard run into a 3-yard run at least every time, and those add up.
A couple of guys for the Charger defense wearing Guardian caps this week. It's an optional thing for players to wear. A couple of them have chosen to wear that. Max, Evan out here to the right. Going to run the same play. And Keegan able to get a nice gain there. Actually had just one tackle to slip there, and I think he'd have been into open field, but he's going to pick up, looks like about 7 on that play and bring up a 3rd and short.
Yeah, he almost broke that. I think Jordan Crow was out leading him, lead blocker on that one. Our line has really picked the pace up on this drive.
Now they're going to give the Panthers a first down on that. I thought he was short, but not according to the officials. And so they'll pick up a first down ball at the 46-yard line of the Chargers. First time inside Charger territory tonight.
Yeah, and it has been the case for the last couple of years. They don't bring the chains out. We've seen them maybe just a handful of times at all in the last couple of years.
Ain't got time for that anymore.
No.
Graydon Church is our receiver out to the left. Up under center are the Panthers. Going to hand the ball off to Tristan. He's going to go off right guard and runs hard. He's going to pick up 4.
Yeah, Jordan Hay was pulling all the way out here to the outside, but Tristan just must have saw something and ran that more up the guard hole there and got 3 yards out of it. About 1 minute, be right around 1 minute when this ball snapped here in the first quarter.
Haven't seen Connor get back into the game yet after he went down a little bit ago. Graydon's going to go out here to the right. Gavin and Evan out left. Max in the slot to the left. Keegan's going to keep this himself. He's going to try to go around the left side, and he's got a nice opening. He's going to be up near the first down. We'll have to see where he gets pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, he just kept bouncing that and finding lanes to run, and the Chargers weren't giving him much pressure there. He ran all the way to the side, and they're going to give him a first down and move the chains.
Another good run for the Panthers, and still yet to throw the football tonight. Establishing that ground game early on. Ball's at the 36-yard line. Panthers on the move, 41 seconds. Clock still hasn't been wound yet. Must have ran out of bounds. 3 receivers to the right here. Max, Evan, and Gavin. They're going to hand it to Tristan, and he's able to get around the right end. And he's got a nice run on first down, still on his feet, down to the 21-yard line. And that'll be close to a first down as well.
Yeah, Keegan really rode him a long ways into the line on that one, kind of a option to keep that. Tristan did a great job of running. He's had his running game has really been a strong point for the Panthers the last 2 weeks.
Yet another first down for your Panthers. Looks like they'll have time to get one more play off here in this first quarter. Connor Johnson checking in, Max Milam off. Connor's going to run out left. They're going to have to hurry to get this play off. I'm not sure that they will. Now, Panthers are going to let time expire. That'll be the end of the first quarter. Your Panthers are trailing 7-0, but threatening.
Connor's over there with a sling on his shoulder.
Okay. All right. Let's bring you some up to speed on some of the stuff that's been going around with the other sports programs. Let's start with golf. So the Golf seasons for both boys and girls came to an end this week. Both programs had sectionals on Monday. Grayson Johnson had advanced out of regionals as a freshman for our club and didn't have the round that he was looking for, had a rough start, but finished strong but not able to advance, and but had a great season. In fact, the entire boys team had a great season. Bunch of young guys. All of them will be back next year. Coach Winkler is excited to have that team back and looking for big things out of them next year. So congratulations to Grayson on advancing out and getting 2 sectionals, and to the team for a great season. Girls golf, their team had advanced out of regionals as a team. Unfortunately, their season also came to an end at Forest Hills, a really tough course. Michelle Nosker was the closest to qualifying, and when I say close, she missed state qualifying by 1 stroke.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
And so you got to think, a stroke here or a stroke there. If you're a golfer, you just replay your round over and over again. But that's unfortunate. Izzy Johnston also missed by just a handful of strokes. So to seniors, Izzy Johnston, Michelle Nosker, Ava Graw, and Taylor Richmond. And it's been a great run building this program up. And to you 4 and to Sarah Carlson and Bailey Snowden, congrats on a magical season. That's the best that the EP's program has ever seen out of a girls golf team. So congratulations to all of you and to Coach Tickler. All right, Panthers getting set to start the second quarter. 1st and 10. Shotgun, tight formation. Keegan's going to keep it himself after he pulls it back, and he's got a nice pickup on first down between the tackles.
Yeah, he really did. With Tristan setting up those good runs before, Keegan was able to ride him in and then keep it and get a nice gain, like you said, out there.
Pick up a 7 on that first down carry. Ball down on the 14-yard line. Wide side of the field to the left for the Panthers. They're going to pitch it out here to Tristan, and good job by the defensive end here to force Tristan back up and back into the defense, and just a short gain on 3rd down.
Yeah, he was right there about the same time Tristan got the ball. Did a good job hanging on to that. Just he could have needed to get around that first guy right away, but wasn't able to do it. I'm going to bring up 3rd and about 2 early here in the second quarter.
Ball down on the Charger 13-yard line. Max making his way back onto the field. Looks to be a little ginger.
A little slow getting out of the huddle here. We have to watch the back judge, see if he starts counting.
Evans going to go out wide right. Graydon here to the left. Back judge starting to count. And they got it off. Tristan's going to run around this right end. He's in space and in near the end zone. And he's down short, just short. And that'll be 1st and goal for the Panthers.
Yep, definitely enough for a first down on that one. Really nice run by Tristan behind that big line. Mason Minson, Jordan Crow, Sandrock. I can't remember his first name.
Brecken
Sandrock. And then Nosker and Reamer on the right side.
They were some of the unsung heroes last week. We gave some big props to Keegan Winkler, and Gavin Adams had another big game. Connor Keegan had some big yards. Tristan had a big game. But that offense, it was all set up by the offensive line last week. They did a tremendous job blocking. All right, 1st and goal from the 1-yard line, maybe inside of it. They're going to hand the ball off to Tristan. He's going to walk himself into the end zone from a lead block.
Yep, that's that right side of the line we were just talking about with Nosker and Reamer. Just blew a hole right there that Tristan had no problem walking through. And, right now this is when these high-scoring games, if it turns out to be that way, these little points on the PATs, with Evans been doing a really nice job last couple weeks. I don't know. I don't believe in announcer's jinx, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
7-6, your score, 9:54 to go here in the first half.
I guess the first step is to get the block out here.
And he did. Max is your holder. Derek Nosker, the long snapper. And Evan set the kick. Good snap, good hold. And nope, fumbled the hold. And unfortunately, the Panthers are not going to convert on this extra point. And 7-6, and the announcer's curse might be alive.
Yeah, in worst case, we don't really want Max running the ball, but there's his leg not feeling as well. So now we're chasing 1 point.
All right, 7-6. Panthers will get set to kick off, but a good drive there by the Panther offense, and kind of back to status quo for what we've been doing.
Get a little more, get back in the control of the game, not control the game, but get back into the game. As we going into that drive, it was 18 plays to 3, so nice to answer back with the score. We're going to score more than once, so we'll get that point back here sooner or later.
A nice sustained drive for the Panthers. Picked up 5 first downs throughout that drive.
Just under 10 minutes to go in the first half.
Just enough of a breeze coming in from behind us to make you put your collar up.
Yeah, I'm glad we brought the quarter zips.
Evan set the kickoff. Here on Tackle Cancer Night in Orion. There's a long kick by Evan, and that's a good one, and he's going to let that go into the end zone. That's the first time we've seen one for Evan get to the end zone in a bit.
Yeah, since week 1, he was doing that in regularity in that Kewanee game, and then really had a stretch. They said he had kind of a sore leg, but based on that kick, his leg feels really good. Always like if they can give them no return, and to kick it that deep is just an added bonus. Just under 10 minutes to go in the first half. Trying to give you the best picture I can here. We just don't have a good angle, so I'm working at it.
1st and 10, Chargers. Spread offense, shotgun. Straight drop back. Good pressure by the Panthers. Squirts out to the right side and got a nice catch there. Gavin Adams, a step slow. And that'll be a pickup of 8 or 9 on that play.
Yeah, the chain gang guy thinks it's a first down. He's moving all the way down. Now they are going to call it a first down. Looked like he was going to pull that under and keep that, but then he did decide to throw it at the end and got the nice 10-yard pass.
Yep, right at the nose of the football, right on the 30. So they will give him the first down. Good job by the offensive line to create a little pressure there.
Defensive line.
Defensive line. That's what I meant. They're going to try to run the ball off left tackle. Got a little bit of running room there. He's going to pick up 5 or 6, 6 or 7 on first down.
Yeah, I think we got another Panther down.
That's Max again.
Max again.
Max having a little tough time tonight.
Yeah, he's been battling that knee. He's been playing really tough all the way through it, and it hasn't really affected him very much, but it's getting to the point now where he may just have to sit out for a while.
Oh, that is not Connor. That's Braden Frank. Sorry, I thought that was Max.
Okay.
Down. Braden's been exclusively on the defensive side of the football for us this year.
Yeah, he's coming back from an injury that he had a year ago, or maybe, I guess, 2 years ago at the end of his freshman year.
Thank you to the rest of the cast here for pointing that out. We have Josh Hammer on technology again tonight. Thanks for Josh. And Don Coonan is always doing stats. And I got word just a little bit ago that Dan is, I don't know if he's inbound to here, but he'll be catching the game about halftime. His travel got pushed back a little bit from Texas. He was trying to get here for the game, but
There's our staff right there, Don and Josh. Scott, you're audio.
yeah, I got a face for radio, so
Yeah.
there's no sense me being on there. All right, Braden up and gingerly going to make his way to the sideline. Looks like he's got a left leg problem. Volleyball. Let's talk about them while we got just a minute. Those ladies are having one heck of a season. They had a barn burner against Riverdale on Wednesday night to push their lead or their season to 26-2 on a 19-game win streak. and they are a #1 seed in their sectional. I'm hearing that we got that those brackets out, but I haven't seen those yet. All right, going to look to throw the football. Moving right, throwing right, and great defense by Tristan Hubby, able to knock that ball down.
Yeah, he was right there. I don't have a program in front of me to say who he's guarding, but great job by Tristan. One of the smaller guys on the field out there, but still was able to have blanket coverage. I like the captains when they go out there, and you got Tristan and Caleb Reamer. Look at the size difference.
3rd and short, big play for the Panther defense. Chargers trying to draw them off sides quick, and good job by the Panther defense. Wishbone formation. They're going to hand the ball off on a trap, and he's able to get through that first line and has a first down. Looked like Evan Steinley was getting held there on that left end. Didn't get called.
Right, he was right there trying to force the edge, but, yeah, they kicked him out enough, and the running back was able to go right up inside that and get that first down, move the chains. Just over 9 minutes to go in the first half. Quickly, Orion's running a little more quicker huddle again.
2 receivers split each way for them. Looking left, throwing left, and tapped, batted down by Caleb Reamer.
Yeah, unfortunately, no one was able to come up underneath there, and they would have yelled Oski, of course, if they would have. We'll get that again.
We learned that a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, and that was nothing but open field running if somebody had been able to run up underneath of that. So 2nd and 10, they're going to load up the right side here with 3 receivers. And they're going to try a little option here. And Evan Steinley able to wrap him up. Good play there to hold the block and then just bring him down.
Yeah, he read that unbelievable there because quarterback was coming in and Evans right there forced the pitch and made a great tackle.
They're going to give him a pickup of 3 on that play, bring up 3rd and 7.
I think about 2 of those 3 were from Evan throwing them to the ground. About 8.5 to go in the first half.
Ball just inside of Charger territory at the 49-yard line. Two receivers split each way. Looking to throw the football. Going to throw a little screen here in the middle. They had all kinds of linemen downfield and didn't get called. They had 3 linemen down 4 yards past the line of scrimmage when that screen got thrown, but they got away with it.
Yeah, it was right there, apparently, right at the edge of how far you can go. It's 3 yards in high school and college. He had a line of blockers in front of him. 1st and 10 for Orion.
Unfortunate play there for the Panthers. Good play call. All right, going to roll out right, going to throw right. Got a man right at the sideline, and they're going to say that it's a catch. And the Orion offense right now kind of picking apart at the Panther defense.
Yeah, they've been running a lot of these little outs, and hope to afraid you're going to set up an out and up. In slippery a little slipperier conditions, a little tougher for the defense. They haven't showed they've had to do that, being able to move the ball safely enough with these passes.
Ball to 27-yard line, just enough for a first down. So far, Orion's 9 for 12 throwing the football. Going to throw another one out here, but that one sails wide right. Graydon Church on that defense.
Yeah, there was not a whole lot of field to throw to on that one. Safe passes is what you're looking at when you do that. And we do have some pretty good athletes in the secondary. So they haven't shown the willingness to throw the ball downfield deeply.
Another package coming in, a couple of tight ends tight. Going to have one receiver split each way for the Chargers. They're going to hand the ball off to the left. Caleb Reamer able to grab onto him, but gets drug 4 or 5 yards down the field. They'll have a nice pickup on 2nd down.
Yeah, they had almost everybody on the line of scrimmage right on that play. Able to find a little bit of a gap off the left side. Didn't get quite as much yardage as I thought. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
Well inside Panther territory down to the 22-yard line. 3rd and 5. Shotgun, 3 receivers split left. Going to roll left, looking to throw left. And that ball was almost picked off. It was picked off. I missed it.
Great hands. Let's try and see if we can see who tossed it back. I think that was Keegan Winkler with that interception.
Lane Decker got that pick.
Okay.
Wow, I looked into the lights briefly, and then it was gone. So great job, Lane Decker, with his first interception of his Panther career and a big turnover. Panther offense will take back over.
The announcer's jinx works for us that time. As I was saying, they hadn't been throwing the ball downfield. All they've been doing is hitting those outs. They tried to push the envelope downfield, and Lane Decker was able to step in there and get that very important interception as Orion was moving the ball pretty efficiently.
Another reception for the Orion quarterback. Fortunately, that one to us. 7:18 to go here in the first half. Panthers trailing 7-6 deep inside our own territory. Up under center. Tristan in the backfield. Now hand it off to him, and he's got a big opening. He's up past first down. He's into open space. He's up past the 40, up past 50, down to the 40, and he's going to get run out of bounds inside the 35-yard line, inside the 30 of the Chargers. Big play for the Panthers.
It really was. Tristan's just having an outstanding few weeks here running the ball. Started in the second half of that Aledo game, Mercer County, and really we could hear it all the way across the side here. We got the EP Panther faithful that made the trip and found their seats right behind the cornfields and watched Tristan just rumble down the field. How far did they say?
67-yard run for Tristan Hovey on that play, and good job on the right side of the line.
6 or 7. Just under 7 to go in the first half.
That's a way to get out of the shadows of your own end zone right there. All right, back to shotgun formation. Max in the game. He's going to be in motion from left to right. And Keegan's going to keep this himself, go up behind the lead block of Tristan. He'll have a nice little gain on first down.
Yeah, that's a play we see all the time. He doesn't really fake the handoff to Tristan. He just goes right off the right side there, following the big blocks of Nasker and Reamer. Take 5 yards on first down every time.
2nd and 5, ball on the 23-yard line of the Chargers. Panthers still chasing a point. I'm going to have to go back and watch that interception. I'm sorry I missed it. All right, Graydon out here far left. Max in the slot. He's going to be in motion again. That'd be setting up the same play. They are, but they're going to try to run it around the right end this time. And Keegan's still on his feet. And he's got a nice pickup well past the first down marker.
I didn't see. Was there a flag on that play? I thought I saw something fly up in the air. Must not be because they're all moving down the field. Nice run by Keegan.
That'll be first and goal. Ball on the 7-yard line. 5:46, clock running. Panthers on the move once again.
Yeah, outside of that first drive when we only got 3 plays, we've been moving the ball quite well. Just great to get it out of the shadow of your goalpost. Now we're right down in front of Orion's.
Tristan flanking Keegan to the right. You're going to try that run off this right side again. Keegan just ducking and avoiding everybody and gets stopped just short of the end zone.
Yeah, it looked like how we used to play tag in elementary, just trying to get away from guys, and Keegan showing a little lateral movement there, a little hop step. Going to be down very near the goal line, about the 1-yard line, they're saying. I would not be surprised if we don't run something right up behind Nasker and Reamer.
2nd and goal from the 1. High formation, up under center. And Keegan's going to keep it himself and basically untouched into the end zone.
Yeah, we kind of saw that against Riverdale last week when they didn't even have a nose guard lined up over center. And I would think Keegan could just audible at that point and just take the ball and just run right through there, and that's exactly what he did.
Interestingly enough, it looks like the Panthers are going to try to kick an extra point.
Well,
up 12-7.
Yeah, we chase those points. You don't get them. Take them 1 point at a time. He's been kicking it really well. If you go for 2 and you don't get it, you kind of wish you had that 1 point later on.
There's a snap. It's a good one. Snaps up. Or snaps. The hold is down and the kick is up. All of that all in once, and it's through the uprights. 13-7 is your score.
Yeah, thanks for describing the mechanics of an extra point.
Ooh, I told you anybody can do this, Scott.
Oh, mercy.
All right, your Panthers take a 13-7 lead, and we have still yet to throw a pass. Coach Whitebread was right on target when he said he was going to establish that run early today.
Yeah, your conversations with Coach are going to start to get wiretapped because he was right on. You said that on the ride down here that we were going to try and establish the run, and never would have thought we would be at this point with no passes, but moving the ball as efficiently as we have, it's been very effective for 2 scores on the last 2 series.
4:44 to go here in the first quarter, or first half, excuse me, 13-7. Your Panthers will be kicking off.
I was just trying to see if Mary's still listening.
I figured. We got just a minute here. I do want to extend an apology to all of you fans that might have been watching last week. We had a little bit of an issue at the end of the ball game where we had some electrical issues that caused us to lose the stream briefly, and we will absolutely try not to let that happen again this week or in any weeks coming up.
At least we were able to finish with some video towards the end, even though the audio was gone. And I did notice the actual viewership went up as the audio left. I'm not sure what the relationship to that is.
Little short kick, and that's going to get fielded at about the 40-yard line cleanly, and the Chargers will have it 1st and 10.
Yeah, I didn't quite see if that's what he was trying to do on
It
that
was.
after. Okay, yeah, sometimes if you can directionally really kick one. I tell you, we had Brandon Hawk was just unbelievable at that. He could kick a football to within about 3 yards of where you asked him to do it on the kickoff. And sometimes that can be a very effective way to get a deep onside kick.
1st and 10 Chargers. And we got a stoppage with the clock. And the Panthers are going to take time out.
All right. Did you get finished running through all the volleyball stuff? We did say they're going to be at the Rock Falls Regional. They'll play the winner of Monday night's game.
Yep. I'm pulling that up right now. I had somebody text me that information. Thank you, Rhonda, for that. Let's see here. EP will play 10-28 on October 28th at 6 o'clock against the winner of the Hall, Oregon game. That Hall, Oregon game is played the night before. And then the winner of our game will play the winner of the Rock Falls, Riverdale game the following night. Or excuse me, on October 30th at 6 o'clock. And this is at Rock Falls. So they're number 1 seed, having an outstanding season, 26-2. And just absolutely on a roll right now. Just had Volley for the Cure this last week. We were able to broadcast that. We're going to broadcast again next Thursday night's game, which is senior night. Look forward to doing that. All right, Panthers back out on the field. 1st and 10, 3 receivers split wide right, 2 to the left. Going to throw here to the middle of the field. Got a catch up past the first down marker. Got a nice play down into Panther territory.
Yeah, that number 4 was a big target, and he found a soft spot in that zone defense. And easy 15-yard pickup. About 4.5 to go in the first half.
Clock running. Chargers offense have armbands, so they'll get a play called in, a number called, and they'll look at their armband for that call or for that play. Strong throw and another pick. Orion's going to throw their second interception of the first half, and that one goes to Evan Steinley.
Yeah, kind of flooded that coverage over there. Great job by Evan picking that off. We just haven't heard a lot of excitement over here on this side of the stands, and they've had a tough part of the season, and we were afraid that they were going to come back feeling like this is a playoff game. So we can get up by another score here. Feel really, really good about this Panther team.
The Charger coach having words with somebody over here. Not happy.
I believe that might be his son.
All right. Panthers are going to take it over 1st and 10. And Keegan's going to take it right up the middle of the field, and he's got some open space. Man, does he do a good job of just eluding tackles. And he's got a first down up near midfield.
He really does. Tristan was kind of hopping like they were faking they were going to pitch it out to him, and one of the linebackers went out with him, I believe, and boy, Keegan just rambled up the field. He's just been playing great. Scott's player of the game last week. I think he had that one wrapped up by about halftime.
First and 10, ball spotted right at midfield. All kinds of time left here in this first half. Panthers still have 2 timeouts left. 3 receivers left. Shotgun formation for the Panthers. And they're going to hand the ball off to Tristan this time. And he's going to try to get all the way out to this outside. And he's going to get strung out. He's going to have a pretty decent gain, though, for as much lateral movement as he had there.
Yeah, and he didn't have much lead blocking on this far side. All I saw was black jerseys trying to corral him in. Looks like it's going to be about 2nd and 4. About under 3:30 right now with the clock running in the first half. EP up 13-7.
Getting back to the volleyball, we'll cover the Thursday night, senior night from Provincetown High School. And we're going to try to cover as much of the postseason volleyball as we can. Well, we may run into some issues with some exclusivity rights with NFHS. We'll have to see it as we get into the postseason. All right, Keegan's going to run this thing right up the middle. And once again, just running hard up past the first down. He's going to have a pickup of nearly 20 on that play.
Yeah, Keegan was running more like a fullback and not a quarterback on that one, and moving these chains. This is kind of what we're hoping because, after they've lost 3 in a row and, they feel like they have a chance to make the playoffs, so we can kind of put them down a little bit and they can start thinking about winter sports.
2:40 to go here in the first half. Panthers on the move down to the 30-yard line.
I will say about volleyball, Riverdale is in our regional. We had a really close match with them just this last week. So even though they've had a great season, anything can happen in the postseason.
Riverdale able to take game 1 the other night. And EP able to come back strong and finish that off in games 2 and 3. They're going to pitch it out to Tristan, and he gets strung out and able to move forward for a couple yards where it looked like he may have could have lost yardage just as easy.
Yeah, that's for sure. He had defenders right there in front of him. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. EP's got the ball just inside the 30. Going to have to move with a little bit of urgency. We've used 1 timeout. We have 2 left.
We're going to give him a pickup of 2 on that play.
And we are not moving with any urgency yet at this point. Down to about 140 in the half.
Still yet to throw the football. Graydon out here left. Max in the slot to the left. He's going to be in motion. They're going to pitch it out. We got a flag on the field. And Tristan's got a nice run. And he's going to be into the end zone. Likely we're going to have an illegal formation or lined up offsides, one of the two.
Yeah, this is likely coming back. The officials are conferring about it right now.
Illegal formation is the call against the Panthers. That'll back them up 5 yards.
Probably not enough men on the line of scrimmage. They must have had one of the split guys didn't get all the way up there. You got to make contact with the side judge. And sometimes if you're close, as long as you make contact with him, he'll let you go. But irregardless of that, it's going to bring up 2nd and long.
That negates a 30-yard touchdown run by Tristan, who's having one heck of a first half. And there goes some of my paperwork. Wind's picking up just a bit.
Yeah. I'm going to wish I had my gloves. You got cold in your pocket?
I got hot hands going on in my pocket.
Yeah.
All right, 2nd and long. Going to throw the football for the first time. Going to air it out. Got a man deep. That's Gavin Adams over there on that right side. And guess what? We got another touchdown. Gavin Adams from Keegan Winkler.
First pass of the night, and he finds Gavin Adams. What a nice throw by Keegan. And Gavin has just stepped up this year as just a playmaker, whether he's running the ball or returning kicks. Receiving definitely is where he shines.
That's a 33-yard strike from Keegan to Gavin, and your Panthers up 19-7.
Looks like we're going to bring the block out and do another PAT.
Kicks up and good. 20-7. Panthers extend the lead with 1:15 to go here in the first half. And Panthers taking a little bit of control of this ball game now. after a sluggish start.
Yeah, it's like, we really have changed the momentum back. It was really, we weren't moving the ball at all, and Orion was moving it down the field. So, like to keep them out of the end zone to end this first half and keep this momentum going into halftime. Have you got a chance to see who's listening?
Yeah, we haven't had many comments yet. We have quite a few people listening. Newman is up 7-0 after 1. I'm trying to remember who they played tonight. They play Riverdale tonight.
It's a pretty low-scoring game for the two of them teams.
Yeah. They didn't seem too concerned to be able to stop that run of Riverdale. They had some really good success last year of getting some quick players just to fill the gaps of where their guards pulled.
Okay.
And they said if you do that, the ball is always right there. All right, that ball's going to land and right at the it looks like about the 25-yard line, about the 30-yard line maybe, and the receiver just fell down.
Yeah, he must have been given instructions to just don't do anything crazy. Maybe have fumbled a few in practice or something. So no return on that one. Give them the field position at the 28-yard line with 1:13 and 1 timeout left in this first half for Orion.
Apologize if we're not able to get to the yard markers or we give you some inaccurate information right out of the gate, because it's pretty difficult to understand where things are at with the field. We don't have the greatest view. Going to hand the ball off right up the middle, and met quickly. Derek Nosker in on that. Jordan Crow was the guy that brings him down.
Yeah, Jordan hit him right there and just drove him back. One of the few runs that Orion has had, and there was just nothing there. I think it's going to be imperative if they do try to pass. Well, the clock is running under a minute now. They're not going to have a chance for too many more plays, but getting Oscar in there has a chance to get some pressure on them when they're trying to drop back to pass.
Got a full bar cheering from Bushy's Slots in Erie. Thanks for listening in there in Erie. The Abbott's listening in from Fulton. I just got a message from them. Going to throw it here to the right side, and he's going to get out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. It won't be enough for the first down. That'll bring up third. 32 seconds to go here in the first half.
Good coverage out here by Evan Steinley. They've been most successful on just their out passes, but with only 32 seconds left, they're going to have to force it downfield. Seen Lane Decker and Keegan Winkler be out here trying to protect that area deep.
Quarterback's going to keep it himself, going to go off of left guard and met pretty quickly. Caleb Reamer seems to take up that big hole pretty easily.
Yeah, I guess they're just trying to get a first down, which is going to be close. It's got to be, I don't know what the official's going to look at it. They're going to say 4th and short, and the clock is still running. This will be the last.
The Chargers are just walking off the field. I don't think they're going to even try to run a play here. This is almost unimaginable that you wouldn't try with a juggernaut of an offense that you have in a 4-year starting quarterback that throws the football a lot and more than 5,000 yards in his career, that you wouldn't try to do something at the end of the first half down 20-7.
Yeah, we will definitely take that, because anything could happen if you throw one deep, defensive pass interference. You can get one more play, but that's not what happened. So EP's going to go into the half with a 20-7 lead, and what was a slow start turned into a really nice controlled performance by the Panthers.
Yeah, and with that, we're going to step aside for a little while. As always, we've got a countdown going on the banner, and when that clock strikes 0, we'll come back on air, give you some first half stats, and get you set up for second half action.
You should be good for that.
Yeah.
Is it going to have sound right now? Stop talking. Do you want sound with this? This is going to get copyrighted. Yeah,
At Country Financial in Prophetstown, Illinois, we know life comes with risk. That's why we're here to help you protect what matters most. Whether it's home, auto, life, or business insurance, we've got the coverage you need and the local service you can trust. Planning for the future? Our team is here to help with financial planning and retirement solutions tailored to you. Visit Country Financial in Prophetstown or give us a call today. Country Financial, growing your future, protecting what matters.
Looking for a bank that puts you first? At Erie State Bank, we've been proudly serving our community with personalized service and a hometown touch. Whether it's checking, savings, loans, or mortgages, we're here to help you reach your financial goals. Bank local, bank smart, with online banking, mobile apps, and friendly faces ready to assist. Erie State Bank is always here for you. Visit Erie State Bank today in Erie, Illinois, and experience banking built on trust and community.
Are you feeling overwhelmed? You're not alone. Join the Gray Matters Collective, where mental health matters. With local chapters and collective coffee conversations, we're here to support you. Connect with us on Facebook at the Gray Matters Collective and be part of the community that cares. The Gray Matters Collective, because your mental health matters.
Looking for fresh, homemade treats? Visit Harvest Bakery and More in Erie, Illinois. From warm, buttery croissants to mouth-watering pies and cakes, we've got something for everyone. Need a special order for an event? We've got you covered with custom cakes and pastries that are sure to impress. Stop by today at Harvest Bakery and More on Main Street in Erie and taste the difference. Fresh, local, and made with love. Harvest Bakery and More, where every bite is a treat.
Attention all area foster and adoptive families. My name is Tiffany Garsha, and I am the founder and president of Raising Hope. Raising Hope is a nonprofit foster care closet located in Erie, Illinois, serving Whiteside, Lee, Ogle, Joe Davies, Rock Island, and Carroll counties. We reach out to area foster and adoptive families and provide emergency placement overnight bags, toiletries, clothing, diapering essentials, and more at no cost. If you ever need help with a new placement coming into your home, please reach out. Also, stay tuned for many of our upcoming events. Each summer, we sponsor a free carnival for children. During our fall time, we have a movie night. And then we also have a special angel tree around Christmas time. You can find us on Facebook at Raising Hope Erie, or you can reach out to us via email at raisinghopeerie@gmail.com. Thank you.
Panther fans, it's time to gear up and show your Panther pride. 5 Mile Creations is your hometown shop for custom EP fan gear and more. From single shirts to full team orders, 5 Mile will design and create apparel for any event. Individuals, businesses, teams, we do it all. Visit 5milecreations.com today and we'll turn your idea into reality. Go Panthers!
All right, we're back here live at Orion High School, and we've got a little tribute going on. Today is a cancer benefit for the football program, and they're honoring one of the Orion graduates who owns, I think it's O's Tap, and forgive me if I'm wrong with the name of that, but a local establishment here in town who's going through cancer, battling that right now. And so all of the proceeds for tonight, from what I understand, are going to help him and that cause. And so they were doing a little tribute out at halftime for him. And so special night for Orion and for that situation. So certainly pray that everything goes well in that. So we've got some first half stats that Scott's going to go through.
Yeah, after that slow start, we got the ball rolling with Keegan Winkler with 12 carries for 90 yards and Tristan Hovey with 10 carries for 108 yards. Orion, who we didn't think was going to run the ball very much, ended up with 15 attempts for 57. Passing, we've only thrown one pass, and it was a 33-yard touchdown to Gavin Adams. Orion is 11 for 17 through the air for 106 yards. EP has 9 first downs. Orion has 10. Panthers have 3 penalties for 12 yards. Orion has 1 for 10. And tackle-wise, we have Caleb Reamer and Jordy Crow with 3 apiece.
Getting ready to start second half. Just real quick on recap on scoring. Orion kicked the scoring off today with I'm not seeing that first. Quarterback sneak, sorry, with 3:54 to go in the first quarter, put them up 7-0, and then we started to get on the board. Tristan put a 1-yard run and we're going to get set to get going here. And this kick is going to go to Gavin at the 15-yard line. Fielded cleanly. He's going to bring it right up the middle of the field. And, just about broke that thing open. He brought it up to 39.
He did. He didn't let the ball bounce that time, and he just caught it on the run. And, I suppose after the Newman game when he bobbled that one kickoff, he's a little nervous about that. Did a great job on that. Almost took it to the house there. Just had one guy to beat here at the 40-yard line right in front of us.
3 scores by the Panthers in the second quarter. 1-yard touchdown run by Tristan, a 1-yard quarterback sneak by Keegan, and then a 33-yard strike from Keegan to Gavin Adams. And that brings our score 20-7 here to start the third quarter, and we are just underway. Good starting field position for the Panthers. The 39-yard line. Going to go up under center, I formation. And they're going to pitch the ball out to Tristan. Had a big first half. He's met pretty quickly, but fights his way back to the initial line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he was hit there. He did a good job just to hang on to that pitch. No gain. Kind of fortunate for EP. We didn't have to face a last play of that first half. Orion had elected just to let the clock run out. And then EP gets the ball to start the second half here. So
very bizarre ending to that first half. Down 20-7 where the Chargers, and with an explosive offense, had an opportunity to at least try to get something advanced. Like you said, knowing that the Panthers were going to have the ball to start the second half. All right, 2nd and 10. Same formation for the Panthers. And they're going to do a play-action pass. Gets flushed out of the pocket. He's got a man open. That's Gavin Adams once again. And up past midfield, and that'll be a first down. Nice play.
Yeah, he had, I think it was Johnson running deep, and then Max Milam underneath, and he was able to, tough pass to hit the middle guy there because you got to get that over the linebacker. Keegan Winkler just did a great job of that, threw it right to Gavin. If you guys are noticing an improvement in the video department, Dan made it back from his trip and has taken over the camera, so I can just try and focus on what I'm doing. Yeah, thanks, Dan.
1st and 10, ball marked right at midfield. Back to the shotgun. Are the Panthers. They're going to hand the ball off to Tristan right up the middle. He's got a big lane up past the first down marker, still on his feet. And he's going to pick up about 20 on that play.
He really did. Usually when you get a ball to Tristan, he's going to get met at the line of scrimmage. Well, his first contact was about 12 to 15 yards after the line of scrimmage on that one. He knocked the safety back for another few yards. Just keeps on rolling, Tristan Hovey does.
I can't think of a player in our program that has progressed more in the last year than Tristan has from this time last year. a lot of the carries that he was getting last year, that first contact, he wasn't able to separate himself from the defender. This year, yards after contact for Tristan has been unbelievable.
Yeah, hard worker and an outstanding wrestler as well, and using those that balance and strength to his advantage on the football field.
Figured you'd throw that in there. All right, Keegan's gonna keep this himself right up the middle, dodging and juking a little bit. He'll pick up 5 or 6 on that play. I was looking for a word.
Dive in. Yeah, you're trying to. I thought you were looking for a thesaurus, but he did just exactly what Keegan does. He was able to just get a couple of yards, and then he dives forward to get a few more.
He'll pick up a long 5 on that. Bring up 2nd and 5 from the 25-yard line of the Chargers. 9:54 to go here in the third quarter. Boy, it's good to have Dan back. Just to look over there and just know we're in good hands on the camera.
Sorry, I let you down.
No, you did a fine job, Scott. We've got look like Caleb jumped on that right tackle position, and that'll back the Panthers up and lose the yardage we just picked up there on that second down or that first down play.
Yeah, we're as far as the whole production part, we were really nervous about what could happen here because the booth is so small, and if it would have been a rainy night, I don't think we could have even done a broadcast, but we're making things work here. It's pretty nice, but looking forward to going back to Erie in our climate-controlled booth with our comfy office chairs.
2nd and 10, 2 men in the slot left. Going to throw the football. Got a man open to the right side. That's Gavin Adams once again up past the first down marker, and Gavin's a favorite target of Keegan these days.
Yeah, we had the trips to the left side, so the defense is going to be favored to that wide side of the field. And, if we get Gavin so one-on-one out there, you're going to like his chances. Keegan hit him right away, and he was able to turn upfield for the first down. 1st and 10, be under 9 minutes to go, ball on the 14-yard line.
Every passing yard that Gavin catches from here on out is just extending that EP record that he now holds for the single season record. Coming into the night, 422 passing yards that he's received. 1st and 10, ball on the 14-yard line, 20-7. The Panthers already on top. Tristan's going to get this pitch, going to try to get around left end, and does a nice job falling forward inside the 10-yard line.
He was following Jordy Crow out there, and eventually he just had to turn on the jets and outrun Jordy and was able to get about a 5-yard gain. I see we haven't got too many shout-outs on who's listening, but I think Clark's listening. He's mentioned the Ormans are listening back in Erie.
Laura Klemstra, I saw your comment. We're going to try like everybody's business to not lose the feed here towards the end of this broadcast tonight. We'll take all the grief to our way because we know we have it coming. All right, shotgun formation. Tristan flanking Keegan to the left. Max in motion right to left. And they're going to fake the pitch. Keegan's going to keep it himself, go right up the middle, and he's going to walk himself into the end zone with nobody touching him for a 8-yard strike.
Yeah, he'd fake that pitch out there to Tristan, and I believe Mason Minson pulled from the left tackle over there and did a nice kick-out block there to lead the way. The C's kind of just parted right out there for Keegan. Great run and a great way to start this second half.
26-7. Your Panthers now on top and in control for the moment. Kick is up. And that one just sneaks into the right side of the uprights. And that's good. 27-7 is your score.
Yeah, Evan's been just really kicking the ball nice the last few weeks. I think the only miss he's had has been on a bad snap. I'm not sure that maybe he's only missed one that, he really got the leverage into it. So 27-7, under 8 minutes to go in this third quarter. We've held their vaunted offense pretty much under wraps since that first drive. So see what Evan's going to do on this kick. He's kind of varied it between kicking it deep, and he did a pooch kick on the one attempt.
Had a lot of people texting and messaging me asking what was going on at halftime with all the blue T-shirts and balloons at halftime. So in case you were a little late getting back and joining the broadcast, they've got an individual in town who's battling cancer. He's a a business owner in town and alumni of Orion. And tonight is Tackle Cancer Night for Orion football and this program. And so all the proceeds for tonight are going to help his cause in his battle with cancer. And so they were doing a little special program out there for him and his family.
All right, looks like my mom's listening from back in Erie. Clark still got the game on.
Evan's going to kick this one short again. And this one has got an opportunity to get fallen on by the Panthers. It's a big pile. We're going to have to see who comes up with it. Panthers are thinking they have it.
Well, it's key to get your arm pointed that direction first because that really influences the referee's decision. And we had the first point, and we're going to get that. That's the same guy that had the ball kicked to him before, and he just fell on it. He wasn't able to gather at that time.
Panthers pick up their third turnover of the night, and we haven't talked about that, but that was one of Coach Whitebread's other keys to tonight's victory is to get back on that turnover kick, and they've created two via the air through interception, and then here on this kickoff, special teams kickoff. Boy, did I struggle through that.
Yeah,
one.
It's tough to get via into a sentence, and you just showed why.
Yeah,
the way you butchered that.
I'll probably leave that out next broadcast. All right, we've got three receivers split to the left here. Now we're going to throw the football again, and going to look right and going to try to throw to Gavin Adams once again. He goes in double coverage, and that ball gets knocked down. Had a chance at it, but Orion recognizing that Gavin's the favorite target right now, we're going to throw a couple of guys at him.
Yeah, I guess we were just going to the well one more time on that. Just throw it into double coverage and see if Gavin can come up with it, which he almost did. But, we got three other guys over here, and one of them had to have been open with all the coverage that Gavin was getting.
2nd and 10. Panthers airing it out just a little bit more here in the second half after not having thrown the football much at all in the first half, other than that big strike to Gavin for a touchdown. Going to throw it once again. Keegan's going to get flushed out. He's going to stay on his feet, and he's going to be up past the first down marker and run out of bounds wisely, and he'll pick up a first.
Yeah, with that wide side of the field over here with the trip receivers, only Gavin on the right side, when he died pulled down, there just wasn't any defenders there, and Keegan showed that great speed and scampering ability that he has and moved the chains.
So that was a 17-yard gain. Ball down to the 14-yard line. Panthers will have it 1st and 10 deep in Charger territory once again. And a punch into the end zone here will, I would believe, deflate the Chargers to a point where they may just pack it in. They're going to hand the ball off to Tristan, going to go off right guard. He's got a nice pickup on first down. Thought I heard maybe there was a fumble there, but I think Tristan held on to the football.
Yeah, I think that was just someone screaming on over there. I heard that as well. Great gain there by Tristan.
Pickup of 5 on that play. They'll give him 6, actually. It'll be 2nd and 4. Ball on the 8-yard line. 7:10 to go. Clock still ticking here in the third quarter.
No hurry to get the play going here. Looks like the play came in from the sideline on that one. Keegan didn't go over to the coach to get the play.
Tristan will be to Keegan's left. Max will be in motion right to left. And we got a delay game coming. Not able to get that one off in time. That'll back them up 5.
Yeah, they weren't as hurried as you would have thought on that one. And going to march that back. 6:46 to go in the first half. EP up 27-7. Just more yards for us to get on the next play. That's how you got to look at a penalty. Keegan did go over to the sideline to get the play called on this one.
Got a chance to walk over to the EP sidelines at half to collect our Scott's Player of the Week trophy that we may have forgotten in Erie before we left town. And quite a crowd over there.
Yeah, maybe Dan can zoom in on a few of the I didn't get a shout out to him.
Throw it over here to the right side, and he overthrows Gavin. by a couple of feet, and that'll bring up third down.
Yeah, there's some of the Erie faithful. I think I saw Sid and Robin there earlier. Mike Winkler's over here. We got a good crowd over here. Yeah, right. It's right out of the cornfield.
Third down and 10, forthcoming for the Panthers. 6:28 to go here in the third quarter. Already up 27-7. Ball deep in Charger territory at the 13-yard line. Up under center. Going to hand the ball off to Tristan. Bounces it outside a little bit and has a nice run. He's up near the end zone. And they're going to mark him just short of the end zone, but he's going to pick up enough for the first down.
Yeah, he was hit just about the time he got that handoff, able to skirt around that to the right side, follow Reamer or Nosker, get into the secondary, and just about took it to the end zone. But down at the 1, we'll run a few more seconds off this clock before we try and punch our next one in. Just over 6 to go in the third quarter.
Up under center is Keegan. High formation. And they're going to get backed up 5. That was a slow snap from Brecken. It looked like, well, we'll go ahead and call that.
Yeah, that was on everybody but the center.
There you go. One of Scott's favorite calls.
No.
And that'll back him up 5. It'll be second and goal from the 6.
Yeah, I think we were going to be looking at another quarterback sneak from Keegan on that one, the way it looked like, but got a couple options here. You can just hand it off to Tristan, who's kind of been the bread and butter, or maybe Keegan will call his own number. We'll see. I'd like to just keep it on the ground here, though.
Grading out here wide left. Connor to the right. Going to hand it off to Tristan and let him do the work. And they're going to mark him down just short. Going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, it looks like.
Yeah, I think we got all those yards back. It's got to be really close. Wouldn't be surprised if Keegan calls his own number again down here in the goal line. He got that one score. I think it's about our second score. Keegan got that. Taking a while to get this play called. Let's not get another delay game.
Tristan having himself a heck of a game. I'd love to see him get the football right here and be able to punch it in. We'll see what Coach Abbott has in store. Back judge has his arm raised. They're going to hand it off to the first guy through, and I think he stopped short. I think that was Max.
Is that okay? He doesn't get many carries, doesn't get many quarterback exchanges either, apparently, and fortunate we didn't lose the ball on that one. Still looks like the way the marker is about as close to the goal line as we can get.
Still 2 plays to punch this one into the end zone. Keegan will go up under center, Max, and Tristan behind him in the I formation. And Keegan's going to roll out and look to throw the football, and he's just going to walk himself into the corner of the end zone for another score for the Panthers.
Yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on the defense when Keegan rolls out there because you got to think pass first. They didn't have any spy on Keegan, who's able to roll in. When we got the ball down there to the 1 on that run by Tristan, there was 6:17 left in the half, so that penalty allowed us to run 2 more minutes off the clock.
4:16 to go here in the third quarter. Panthers in control, 33-7. Evan is attempting the extra point. That kick is up and good. Evan's been solid here.
He really has. And I tell you what, he gets great height on those PATs. I don't think he's tried a field goal. It seems like maybe the Kiwani game, which just really feels like a whole season ago at this point. It seemed like he tried a field goal in that game. I don't remember any other time we've tried one. I know he had at least a 30 or 35-yarder last year, and he looks to have that sort of leg. There's just a lot more that goes into a longer kick than just the PAT, but he's definitely a weapon that we may use later in the season for those 3 points.
After spinning our wheels early on and just having three plays to Orion's 18 out of the gate, we have done nothing but be on cruise control, and your Panthers have rattled off 5 straight scores, 6 straight scores.
Sounds like Jameses have the game on back in Erie, and Mason and Hallie are listening to it. Uncle Scott says hi.
Panthers have run 14 plays from scrimmage here in this third quarter. Orion has yet to run one.
Really? What an impressive. That's right, because they fumbled that kickoff. Let's see what kind of leverage Evan can get in this. He might just want to target that guy again. Maybe that was something that they had seen on film. Wouldn't be a bad place to put it. Right over there about the 30-yard line over the right hash.
Here's a kick. He's going to kick it long. He's going to get fielded cleanly by the Chargers around the 10-yard line. Going to bring it up the middle of the field. He's got a nice return up near the 33-yard line.
Yeah,
the Chargers will take over.
That's one of those things that we talk about all the time. You just outkick the coverage in high school football. If you can kick it all the way to the goal line, it just takes a long time for us to get down there. And they always end up getting the ball out across the 30 when you kick it that deep. You really want it to land around the 10 or 15, make them have to reach down and pick it up, maybe have a little trouble with it, but still a good kick. 34-yard line is where they're going to start this drive.
They're going to start in shotgun formation, and 3 receivers split wide left, 2 to the right. Empty backfield. Going to throw it here to the right. Got a man open for a short pickup.
That seems to be the most effective offense they have right now, is they just been hitting the short plays to the right side. Tristan Hovey was able to escort the receiver out of bounds after he made that reception.
The inside receiver on this right side just runs a 5 and out and is just a little soft coverage, and they're able to complete those short passes. 2nd and 5, ball on the 39-yard line.
Except for the fact of them going out of bounds, stopping the clock, I'd just take a whole bunch of those.
Quarterback's going to keep this himself, and John Holland able to slip a block there and getting into the backfield. Nice play.
He really did do a good job. They call that getting skinny at the line of scrimmage. Got off that block and was able to make the tackle as well. He really showed good athleticism there from Holland.
John, just a sophomore, been up full-time all year. Doing a nice job on both sides of the football for us. 3:34 to go here in the third quarter. Panthers in control of this football game, 34-7. And throw the ball long, and he had a man open on a little go route, but overthrew him, and that ball falls incomplete.
Yeah, this game started, Orion moved the ball well down the field and took that first score, and they had a lot of tempo to their offense. They'd run a play, they'd go right to the line of scrimmage, they'd check their armbands, they'd get the play. Now they've just really slowed down. They've just they don't have that same enthusiasm and energy that they started the game with.
Lane Decker's going to go back. Nope, Gavin Adams is going to go back and take this kick. That would normally be Keegan Connors out for the remainder of this ball game. Orion set the punt. Oh, and he drops it. And Caleb Reamer's going to try to run him down. Oh, he's able to kick it off and get something out of it. Kicks it onto the track. It won't be a very long punt, but it's better than what the alternative was going to be for him.
Yeah, that one. I don't think I've ever seen a guy run that far and still be able to get the kick. Hard to see. The markers are on the far side of the field, but he was right at the line of scrimmage when he kicked that, straight out of bounds.
3:08 to go here in the third quarter. Panthers have great starting field position at their own 49-yard line. See if we want to pack it in a little bit and just grind out some runs now and just kill some clock.
That would be exactly what we want to do.
Braden Frank also going to sit the remainder of this game out for the Panthers after a first half injury. Keegan's going to run it off the right side. He makes the corner, and he's still on his feet doing Keegan Winkler things, and he's going to be up near the first down marker.
Yeah, he had a chance to get hit in the backfield there for a loss, and he was able to outrun that rush by the Chargers, and then he just kept going to the sideline and really showed great speed. You know, he's really increased his strength this year. You can see the leg strength that he has, but we really noticed the last couple of weeks he has a nice top-end speed as he's had a couple long runs, a couple long touchdown runs.
Tristan also did a nice job of recognizing that backside pursuit and did a nice job of stopping, turning back, and creating a block there for Keegan to not get chased down from behind. 1st and 10 for your Panthers inside Charger territory. Now Keegan will run it to the left side, and he's going to try to get around this left end and is able to get some positive yardage before being run out of bounds.
Yeah, he had a chance to get a little bit more there. Both Evan Steinley and Graydon Church were blocking on the outside. It took so long for Keegan to get out there that they were just afraid if they held their blocks for too long, they get called for holding and kind of let their guys go. And, Keegan had to get around them then. But, if you just stay active on the guy you're blocking and keep running your feet, their officials aren't usually going to call that.
They'll give him a gain of 7 on that play. 2nd and 3, ball at the 33-yard line. Graydon will trot out to the right. Evan here near left. Couple men in the slot. Keegan's going to keep it himself, and he'll push ahead for a 1st down.
Yep, that'll move the clocks.
The clocks?
The chains. Dan can look over there past the goalpost. Look at the moon coming up over there. You have to. He's going to try and catch that before it gets in the cloud bank.
Is that what's going on? All right, folks, hold on.
No, we can do it on the next play if you want. No. How's that looking? Yeah, I think we're just past the full moon. I think that was a couple days ago. I think we had a harvest moon, full moon, had the whole works there.
Not going to get it off.
1st and 10, Panthers. Minute and a half to go. Going to hand the ball off to Tristan. He's going to go off right guard, pops it outside, and he's got a nice gain on 1st down up near the 1st down marker. He'll be brought down short.
Yeah, well, back judge was counting. Once he starts counting, you got 5 seconds, and he got about 4 3/4 as we got that play snapped, and Tristan got that gain of about 7 yards, as you say. Going to bring up 2nd and 3rd, about 1 minute and 10. We're just trying to run as much clock as we can and get to that 4th quarter.
I'm camping right now, or not right now because I'm here, but I'm camping in Orion this weekend, and I got a group of people up there, including some of my grandsons. So Jonah and Micah and Ezra and Jackson all watching from the camper up there. Hope you guys are enjoying it up there. All right, 2nd and 3 for the Panthers. Up under center, going to hand the ball off to Tristan, and he's got a 1st down behind some pretty hefty blocking by the offensive line.
Yeah, we've been liking to run across that right side right behind Derek Nosker and Caleb Bremer, and why wouldn't you? They got a lot of size and strength over there, and gives Tristan enough room to move the chains again. We're going to have to get one more play in this 3rd quarter. See if we can take it to the house or if we're going to come down here and score on the other side.
Looks like the Panthers are going to be good with letting the clock run out here. And the rest of the 3rd quarter will come to an end. All right, with that, I'm going to give one more update on fall sports, and that's cross-country team. They had the Panther Invite this last week on Tuesday, and they ran that at the Lake Erie Country Club. 13 schools, the boys took home the gold medal. They won the whole thing. Medalist Braden Punk finished 3rd, Nathan Punk 6th, Gus Schultz finished 7th, Aiden Garcia finished 13th, and Justin Wainscott finished 15th. Congratulations to the guys with a win there. The girls finished 3rd behind Riverdale and Princeton. Medalist Roz Mosier finished 8th, Jesse Deneve 13th, Jenica Norman 14th, Sarah Link and Lexi Capel were both out for this meet. They had 10 PRs set this last week during this meet, Faith Barr, Roz Mosier, Nathan Punk, Elijah Franzen, Jake Murphy, Braden Punk, Jackson Tegler, Aiden Garcia, Ace Wetzel, and Jack Melton all ran the best races they've had so far this year, so still continuing to peak. Congratulations to the cross-country team on a great run this week.
Boy, Dan's got the camera right on that moon. What a shot.
Panthers able to rattle off 20 offensive plays in that third quarter to Orion's 3.
What a tremendous performance by EP, really, ever since that first drive.
Panthers will have it to start the fourth quarter. Be 1st and 10. Ball will be at the 14-yard line. I also want to throw a shout out before the fourth quarter gets started. Got a chance to visit with Shar Winkler. I know you're listening out there, Shar, getting to watch your great-grandson play football. And that you are one of the reasons that I love and we love getting to broadcast, because we know that there are people that just aren't able to get to the football games. And you get to continue to support EP Panthers by getting to watch this in your homes. So hope you're enjoying it, Shar. All right, up under center is Keegan to start this fourth quarter. They're going to hand the ball off to Tristan off left guard, and he'll have a decent pickup on first down.
Yeah, about 5 or 6 yards. Max Milam was his lead blocker over there. One of the few times we ran over to the left side. Let Mason Minson and Jordan Crow do a little bit of the road clearing for him.
Hey, if you have other stories out there, like I just shared with Shar, drop it in the chat, and we'll make sure to cover that. I just love sharing those kinds of stories.
Geneseo's up 17-7 on Sterling at the half.
That's a big game there going on. Tristan's going to go out this right side, does a nice job of cutting it up and going to get down to about the 5-yard line. And like Don and Josh were just saying, we've had almost no action down here where it's been close for us. Everything's been down at the far end.
Yeah, Clark actually just texted us that all the scores were on the other side. And, we're just trying to put a little dent in that, what has happened. Caleb Nosker was just a great lead block on that play. Just kind of did a little two-hand shiver on the defender and knocked him back. About 3rd and about 2.
One other score I've got for you, an update. 16-8, Newman on top of Riverdale. Riverdale just scored. Keegan's going to keep it himself off a lead block of Tristan and going to get into the end zone from 6 yards out. And the Panthers got to put 40 on the board again tonight.
Yeah, that's be the 3rd week in a row. We first score on this side of the field, but once again a score on the right side of the offensive line. Just doing a great job there of getting a push and a nice lead block by Tristan. 10.5 to go in this game. We're going to try another PAT, and if we can get the ball back, we can have a chance to have a running clock.
There's a snap. It's a good one. And Evan is going to push that one right. And your score 40-7 with 10:29 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he had more leverage on that one and drove that one a lot more. He had been kicking them with much more height. I don't know if that was the result of the inaccuracy, but, he lost that point. He won them all.
Dan, I've got people asking here on the chat if you maybe were speeding from Chicago to here to get to the game. He said maybe just a little.
The rule of thumb is you just need to drive a little bit slower than the fastest car out there. You always got to have a blocker out there. I appreciate you making it here because I don't think my video was near as good as yours. I was kind of zoomed out more so that I didn't miss anything, but probably wasn't getting as close to action as what you're able to do.
I think we're going to start getting into the time of this ball game and where we're at, that we can start talking about the fact that we are likely going to become playoff eligible early in this season, which is not something the Panthers have done.
No, we've had to wait towards the end, that is for sure.
Which will be a relief, and now it's just piling on, and can we get to hosting a home playoff game is really the kind of the next step for the Panther program, right?
Yeah, it'd be nice just to have a playoff game that's in our same time zone. That was quite a haul that we had to go to last year. Holy cow, down there south of Champaign.
It was a jaunt, and the Panthers put on a heck of a display against a 9-0 team, and we're just come up just a bit short.
Yeah.
Really we're in control of that football game for most of it.
Yeah, we did everything but score points in that game.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Chargers. Shotgun.
Got a
Empty backfield.
few substitutions coming in for the Panthers as well, which I'm sure we'll see throughout this fourth quarter.
Going to look to throw right, and out the outstretched arms of his intended receiver. Falls incomplete.
Yeah, number 54, Hayden. I would have to get a name I didn't know how to say. DeVore out there on that coverage. Thanks, Don.
2nd and 10.
And as most people know, I have a hard time reading names anyway. It's always a fun part of the broadcast.
Going to roll right, looking to throw right. He does do a nice job of stepping into his throws. And the receiver dodges a couple of would-be tacklers and is going to fall forward close to a 1st down.
Yeah, they did stop the clock, I guess long enough to try and make that determination. I think it's going to be just short. We'll see what they say. They haven't made any indication yet, nor have they started the clock. Let's do. He sure looked like he was inbounds to me, but maybe he did step out of bounds.
3rd and short for the Chargers, just inside Panther territory. Wishbone formation. Going to hand the ball off, going to go off left tackle. He's got enough for the 1st down, and then some.
Yeah, moved it across midfield. We got still quite a few of the starters in there. I don't see who else has moved in, but we still got Keegan and Evan Jorday out there. I don't see Reamer or Nasker.
Empty backfield. Going to look left to throw left. Got a man through the slot that's open. And the catch for a 1st down.
Yeah, and it's with the offense that they have, it'd be pretty hard-pressed to be subbing in the secondary right now because, you know, they just got so many weapons out there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we keep those in there until Orange decides to go to the bench.
Going to throw here to the left. And another completion. Same receiver. They're going to continue to roll the clock. He brought down inbounds.
Yeah, Evan did a really nice job on that coverage and just a really nice tackle as well. Always nice to keep him inbounds here, keep this clock moving. It's going to be under 9 minutes when this play is snapped on 2nd and about 7. Orion does seem to be playing with a little more pace on this drive. They've woken up here after the 40-7.
Gonna throw a little screen pass. Oh, knocked down nicely by number 69, Nathaniel Hinton.
Yeah, that was that same screen that they ran before. That one, the linemen looked like they were even further downfield on that one, but they didn't call that. They just had the incomplete pass.
8:51 to go here in the game. 3rd down and long for the Chargers. Panthers coming into tonight, allowing 24 points a game. Right now holding the Chargers to just 7. Quarterback's going to keep this himself. He's going to be up past the 1st down marker and gets buried by a couple of Panthers.
Yeah, he did. Kind of paid for that long run that moved the chains. Had a chance to get him before he got the 1st down, but he was able to turn it upfield. Definitely get that yardage, but the chain gang gets their sticks spotted quickly, and now the clock is still running with 8:30 to go in the 4th quarter.
Going to look to throw left and nothing open. Now he's going to try to throw it all long and overthrows the intended receiver. Graydon Church on coverage there, and that was good.
Yeah, he had him blanketed, and all the quarterback could do was try and get over his head, and by doing that, he threw it out of the back of the end zone. Going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Good job by the guys covering here on the left-hand side. That was Keegan and Evan, Lane Decker. Sooner or later, I'm just going to call him Lane. I don't know why I continue to use both names for Lane. I need to stop doing that.
He's earned it.
He has. He's had a great game tonight. Came up with a big interception that I still haven't yet to see because I haven't gone back to the video. I missed it. All right, going to throw left again. Nobody open. Going to throw right. Got a man open and out off the fingertips. Falls incomplete.
Yeah, that got deflected. I was kind of hoping we could maybe get that on the ricochet, but falls safely on the ground, I guess, for us. So they weren't able to get a completion out of it. 3rd and 10 is what we're looking at now.
Going back to Lane. Lane's just a sophomore and had been playing both sophomore and varsity ball up until just a couple of weeks ago and finally made the full transition to varsity only and has been doing an outstanding job defensively for us and some special teams work. And Lane moving into the district this year and just a big, big addition to our program.
Orion with multiple formation changes.
Going to throw a little screen across the middle here. And once again, a lot of men downfield, it just feels like to me, but evidently not. That's going to be a pretty decent-sized gain for the Chargers. That'll bring up 4th and short.
Yeah, I think the rule is when the ball leaves the quarterback's hand, the lineman can't be more than 3 yards downfield. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I think I looked up one time. And they've pushed it to every inch of that 3 yards. But still going to be 4th and about 3 to go from the 8-yard line with 7:30 and counting on the clock.
Quarterback flushed out to the left. He's going to throw to the corner of the end zone, and that's way out of the back of the end zone. And that'll be a turnover on downs for the Panther defense. Well done.
Yeah, it really was. We kind of held there. We'll see who comes out on the field for us. Looks like we got the starting unit. See if they do any substitution as this drive gets going. May want to get it out of the shadow of our goalpost at first. 7:17 to go in the game. EP is up 40-7. Yeah, you kind of mentioned how we're going to be playoff eligible after this win. We haven't been eligible this early in the season for a long time, and just really going to build momentum. You know, going those other teams, those other years when you're 5-4, you just always feel like you're on the edge, and really have a chance to put together one of the best teams we've seen in a long time. 7-2 is definitely in reach.
Yeah, again, we've got next week Mendota at home, and they're 2-4 going into tonight, and then we'll travel to Princeton, who is having a down year. They're 3-3 going into tonight. Keegan's going to keep this himself, and he's got all kinds of running room, and he's in the open field, and he's just going to slide down at the 40-yard line and avoid any kind of potential for injury there. Smart play by Keegan.
I guess so. He hit the old slip and slide that the quarterbacks do to avoid a tackle, if you remember that from Hard Knocks and the Bears last year.
I do.
But Keegan just did a great job there with making that juke move to get to the outside to get all that yardage. As soon as they get the sticks set, they're going to keep that clock going. It'll be under 7 with 40-7 lead.
Ball all the way out to the 38-yard line. A reminder, at the end of this game, we'll be picking our Scott's Player of the Week.
I like this. The last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of people, a lot of potential recipients of that award.
Keegan up under center, I formation. They're going to hand it to Tristan. Going to go off the right side, and he's continuing to drive. He'll be up near first down.
Yeah, he gave Graydon, I think that's Graydon Church out there, a little lesson to keep your legs moving, because he was, and he ran right up over his back and knocked him down. Tristan just isn't going to go down with an arm tackle. He's going to make you earn it.
Got to give him a gain of 11 on that, up to the 49-yard line. Tristan having himself a night.
Yeah, what did he have?
108 yards in the first half rushing.
Ball's just about at midfield. Going to be under 6 minutes to go when we get this play.
So Tristan's pushing 200 yards of rushing here in this contest already. Just a junior. Going to hand the ball off to him one more time, and once again, just getting yards in great big chunks.
He really is, and he as Keegan does, Tristan does a great job of keeping that forward lean and always gets a few more yards and keeps the leg driving. Maybe gets about 2 or 3 or 4 more yards when you think he's going to go down. Move the chain all the way, or the yard line all the way to an 8-yard gain, bring up second and short. Going to be about 5 minutes to go in the game when they get this next play going.
Panthers coming in offensively, averaging 26 points per game, and they'll raise that average.
Yeah, we've been scoring them quite regularly after the Rock Ridge game. We actually moved the ball quite well against Rock Ridge, as a matter of fact.
That's really where this whole run has started, right? Connor Wetzel, Wetzel on the carry there.
Yeah, we're starting to make substitutions.
Noah Wetzel, excuse me.
Yeah, we'll get it. We just got to find the right name on the program there, but looks like Tristan's going to get over the 200-yard mark on that last run, so he's been substituted for.
Noah Wetzel, I got a chance to go down and watch a sophomore game a couple of weeks ago. He's playing really well at the sophomore level.
Yeah, he had a really nice game for us about 2 weeks ago. Was all over the field. Definitely going to be a name we'll be calling for the next few years. Just over 4 minutes to go in the game.
First down for the Panthers. Wetzel in the backfield. Going to give him the ball again. And he keeps his legs driving. He's got a nice run. Runs into a couple of Chargers. Going to get brought down after a pickup of 7.
Yeah, nice hard driving right there. Following behind. I suppose, just being a sophomore, he doesn't get to follow guys like Nasker and Reamer, so he takes advantage of it, gets the nice gain. Going to be about second and about 7. Like you were saying, we had that 2-0 start and then just really got nothing at Newman. And then, Rock Ridge came in with their undefeated record and state ranked, and we just moved the ball very efficiently against them. It wasn't a victory, but that really, like you say, started the momentum, and we just really carried it out the next 3 weeks after that.
Second and short for the Panthers. Noah bounces it out to the left, and he's going to have, looks to be enough for the first down depending on the spot, but did a nice job of finding that small seam to the outside and hit it.
Yeah, and what he's done a great job here on this drive is he's been getting yards after contact. The first guy hasn't been able to bring him down. He bounced off that tackle attempt, and they moved it outside. Looks like they're going to say just short, which means the clock will keep running. Going to be just under 3 minutes right now with 3rd and 1.
I don't remember. Whose week is it? Mine or yours?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
What'd you call?
I called heads. It was tails. So
okay.
You get it tonight.
All right.
And an imaginary quarter. We got a timeout called. Tell you what. You want to just end the suspense right now with the Scott's player of the game?
Yeah, he's been in the running the last 3 weeks. He had 140 yards rushing in that Alito game, but most of those were in the second half when the game was already under control, or we felt so. And Evan got the Scott's player of the game that week. Last week he had a tremendous game too. He had the first 4 or 5 carries of the game, moved it right down the field. You probably got the yardage there that he rushed for last week.
He had 23 rushes for 90 yards last
week, but this week, and we felt like he was going to have a chance. Boy, he really did. Tristan Hovey is our Scott's player of the game. 23 carries for 207 yards and 1 touchdown, and he's just another talented weapon we have in this Panther offense. We got Gavin Adams, we got Keegan Winkler, we got Evan Steinley out there, who hasn't done a whole lot lately, but Tristan Hovey has shown himself to be one of the leaders in the conference in rushing, and he's our Scott's player of the week.
Congratulations to Tristan. And a great game, and first 200-yard rushing game that I remember here in recent times.
Yeah, that's been a while.
Panthers a little early to jump off that left side, And they'll back them up 5 yards.
Going to make it 3rd and 5 with about 2.5 to go in the first half in the game.
Going to hand the ball off to the first back through. And Wetzel doing a nice job of pushing him after that initial contact. I don't know who that back was. We'll have to catch that, who that was, as he gets up off the pile.
I still can't quite see who it was. Who's 17? Was it him?
17 is Carter Hadaway.
4th and 4 is what we're going to have. 2 minutes to go in the game. EP's up 40-7. We can get one more first down here. We can probably go into victory formation and get the buses warmed up for our trip back home. The Orion sideline players, they clap the entire time, and they're continuing to do it.
Riverdale put another score on Newman. It's tight, 16-14.
Battle of the PATs.
Oh, big play blown up there from Orion. Going to run our back right out of bounds. That's Noah Wetzel on the carry.
Yeah, he about got there the same time the ball did. Wetzel did a good job of hanging on to that ball. And he didn't go down, though. They were both just kind of ran sideways. Neither one gave up an inch and ran out of bounds. Going to be about a 6-yard loss. Orion's going to take over on downs. 1:23 to go in the game. If Dan can find this focus button, there it is. 40-7. Orion's going to take over at their own 33-yard line.
Quick recap on the score. Orion kicked things off with a quarterback sneak to put them up 7-0 in the first quarter. It's been nothing but Panthers since. 3 strikes in the second quarter. 1-yard rushing touchdown by Tristan. A quarterback sneak from a yard out by Keegan, and then a 33-yard strike from Keegan to Gavin as that ball falls incomplete down the right sideline. They close out the first half. Panthers were up 20-7 at halftime. And then here in the third quarter, the Panthers struck again with an 8-yard touchdown run by Keegan and followed that up with another 1-yard touchdown run by Keegan as well. And that was 34-7 at the end of the third quarter. And then once again, Keegan found pay dirt here in the fourth quarter from 6 yards out. So Keegan has 4 touchdowns tonight via his legs and another one through the air. So that's 10 touchdowns he's accounted for in the last 2 weeks.
Carson Irick, he's one of the sophomores that's getting some playing time here at the end of the game. He had nice coverage on that last play. Didn't quite get the number of the guy that brought down the quarterback after that run.
Evan Melton.
There we go.
All right. Going to throw it out here to the right sideline, and receiver had all kinds of room to run there, but didn't realize it and just ran out of bounds after a short game.
Yeah, well, you want to stop the clock when you're down 40-7 and you're under 1 minute to go. And then we realize we got to pack all this stuff up and drive all the way back to Erie.
And some of us to Oregon.
Oh.
All right, going to roll out right, looking to throw. Going to throw this right side. Got a man open. It's caught. Turns it up to the inside. Avoids the tackle. Still on his feet. And finally going to get brought down about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, we had 2 missed tackles there, but at least he stayed in bounds. So when they get these sticks set, they'll get the clock going. 45 seconds left. Let's just avoid any injuries or stupidity here at the end of the game, and everybody will leave here happy on our side of the field.
Going to look to throw left. Going to look for a long ball here. He's got a man open, and it's caught. And in for the score. A late touchdown for the Chargers.
Yeah, second unit getting some playing time there and got a chance to see what it's like to have a 40-yard pass thrown on you. That's a nice little arm the quarterback's got there.
32-yard touchdown pass for the Chargers. I was just getting ready to say if we could have held them there, that would have been 2 consecutive weeks for this Charger offense, which looks to be a pretty decent offensive team that they would have come away with just 1 touchdown each week, having been beat 50-7 last week. But able to put one in the end zone late. I'll try for the extra point here, and that kick is up. And good, 40-14 with 32 seconds to go.
Yep, all that should be left is to field this kick, take one snap, and get in victory formation. We haven't got to call that formation too often. Last week we had to survive a late flurry there by Riverdale at the end. That won't be the case this week. Josh thinks something's funny over here. I can hear him laughing. Where did Don go?
Don needs to get out. And we are in some tight quarters here, so he's getting tangled up in some cords. Hopefully we don't lose broadcast. Yeah, we do. He was able to get out unscathed.
Yeah, we got to get back and get fired up for the fall scramble.
Three Rivers fall scramble going on tomorrow for area golfers. Adults, correct.
Yeah.
Some of us has-beens. Well, thank you tonight to our entire crew. Josh Hammer on the production side of things. Dan for a half of filming. Don Coonan on the stats. Scott, it's always a pleasure doing games with you. That one's going to get fielded cleanly. Everybody on the sideline saying, just get down. That's Lane. Lane on the, and I did it right that time. I didn't call him by his last name. On the return, Lane just wanted to return that thing into the house.
He did. He ran real aggressively there. It's kind of tough when the sidelines yelling for you to get down because I doubt the up guys are blocking that hard.
You know, I wondered why Don had to get out of here so quickly. It just dawned on me that it's Kathy's birthday today.
Oh, man.
He's got to get home and cook her dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy 81st, Kathy. Hope you have a good one. All right, we'll take victory formation there. Of course, Kathy's not quite that old, but happy birthday, Kathy. And that'll be the last snap of this football game. Your Panthers are going to take home a victory, 40-14. And I don't think we have final stats because Don had to get out of here so quickly.
Well, there was a bunch of them. You kind of did the scoring recap there. The main one was Tristan Hovey, over 200 yards rushing. Just, we started slow in this game, which isn't something we've done the last couple weeks. But after we were down 7-0, we came roaring back, had 40 unanswered points. And what a great game for EP. We are playoff eligible, and we were definitely going to be playing in Week 10, which is pretty exciting. Now we just keep stacking wins. Maybe we can play a first game at home. And, we will be back home next week against Mendota.
Yeah, good segue there. So our varsity, like Scott said, will be home against Mendota next Friday. Monday night, the Panthers will be hosting Orion. The sophomores will be. 5:30 start time. You got any free time on your schedule to come out and support those guys. They're 6-0 right now, and they would love to fill the stands and show some support there. The volleyball team is at Sherrard tomorrow for the Sherrard Invite. They're at Newman on Tuesday, and then senior night on Thursday in Prophetstown at the Prophetstown High School. If you can't be there, we will be bringing you that game live on Rock River Community Radio.
We're going to dunk Coach.
And
Watch this. We're going to get Coach.
all right, Coach Whitebread is going to get dunked as a team. This is a big accomplishment for the team. They all understand that they now have become playoff eligible, and that's been a goal for them to start the year, right? And so you want to enjoy those moments.
Yeah, and no better way to enjoy it than a bunch of cold water poured on you when it's about 45 degrees out.
You bet. All right, hey, with that, we're going to go ahead and sign off, and we will catch you on Thursday night for the volleyball game. Senior night, if you cannot join us then, we'll be back again live on Friday night for the game in Erie against Mendota. Take care all, and God bless.